in love with you while naturally blending healthy diet like exercise, positive lifestyle habits, and mindset for older adults. There are no headings or bullet points, just a smooth flow suitable for voiceover. When a man is truly in love with you, something powerful happens inside him that he often can't fully explain with words. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, and it's not about showing off. It's quiet, deep, and steady. Love changes the way a man thinks, the way he plans, and the way he protects. He starts seeing the future differently because now the future has you in it. He doesn't just wake up thinking about today, he wakes up thinking about tomorrow, next year, and the years after that. Love gives him purpose, and purpose gives him strength. A man in love becomes intentional. He listens more closely. Even when you think he's distracted, he remembers the small things you once mentioned casually. He notices your mood before you say a word. Love makes him alert, not anxious but aware. He feels responsible for your peace, your safety, and your happiness, not because you ask him to, but because his heart tells him that protecting you is part of loving you. As men grow older, love takes on an even deeper meaning. It's no longer about impressing anyone, it's about preserving what truly matters. A man in love at this stage values stability, health, and emotional connection more than ever before. He understands that love is not rushed, it is nurtured. Just like the body needs care, love needs patience. He knows that a healthy relationship, much like a healthy body, grows stronger when treated with respect and consistency. When love is real, it inspires better choices. A man who loves you begins to care more about his health because he wants to be present for you. He thinks about what he eats, not out of fear, but out of responsibility. He understands that nourishing his body with simple, wholesome foods gives him energy, clarity, and longevity. Fresh fruits, vegetables, balanced meals, and plenty of water become part of his routine, not as a strict rule but as an act of self-respect. Love reminds him that taking care of himself is also taking care of you. Light movement becomes meaningful too. A simple walk in the morning, stretching in the evening, or gentle exercises that keep the joints moving are no longer chores. They become rituals of gratitude for a body that still carries him forward. He doesn't need extreme workouts, he needs consistency. Love teaches him that staying active is not about youth but about vitality. Movement keeps the heart strong, the mind sharp, and the spirit uplifted. A man in love also learns the power of rest. He understands that good sleep is not laziness, it's healing. He begins to respect his body's signals, choosing earlier nights, calmer evenings, and less stress whenever possible. He replaces chaos with routine, knowing that peace is essential for long-term happiness. Love brings a sense of balance, and balance creates longevity. Emotionally, love softens a man. He becomes more patient, more forgiving, and more present. He realizes that anger steals energy and resentment weakens the heart. Love encourages him to let go of old grudges, to breathe deeper, and to choose calm over conflict. A positive mindset becomes his strength, especially as life changes with age. He focuses on gratitude, appreciating the small joys, the quiet moments, and the simple blessings that once went unnoticed. When a man loves you, he doesn't compete with the world anymore, he builds with you. He wants conversations that heal, laughter that refreshes, and silence that feels safe. He understands that emotional connection is just as important as physical health. Sharing thoughts, dreams, and even fears keeps the heart light and the spirit young. For older adults, love becomes a source of renewal. It reminds them that life is not over, it is still unfolding. Love gives meaning to routines and purpose to days. It encourages learning, curiosity, and staying mentally active. Reading, engaging in meaningful conversations, staying socially connected. and nurturing hobbies all become part of a vibrant lifestyle. Love tells the mind that it's never too late to grow. A man in love respects time. He understands that every moment is valuable. He spends less time worrying about things he cannot control and more time investing in what truly matters. He chooses kindness over ego, health over habits that drain him, and peace over unnecessary stress. Love teaches him that life is not measured by years alone, but by how deeply those years are lived. When challenges come, and they always do, love becomes an anchor. A man in love doesn't run at the first sign of difficulty. He steadies himself, he breathes, reflects, and responds thoughtfully. He understands that strong relationships, like strong bodies, require patience and care. He doesn't expect perfection, he values progress. Love also encourages spiritual well-being, whether through prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection. A man in love connects with something greater than himself. He understands that inner peace fuels outer strength. This connection keeps him grounded, hopeful, and resilient, especially during times of uncertainty. As the years pass, love deepens rather than fades. It becomes less about excitement and more about comfort, trust, and shared understanding. A man in love feels grateful, not pressured. He values companionship over excitement and loyalty over attention. He understands that real love doesn't exhaust you. It energizes you in a calm, steady way. A positive mindset becomes the foundation of everything. Love helps a man focus on what he can do instead of what he's lost. He celebrates the wisdom gained through experience and uses it to live better, not bitter. He speaks kindly to himself, knowing that self-respect shapes how others treat him too. When a man loves you, he wants to grow old with you, not just grow older. He imagines shared mornings, peaceful evenings, and a life built on mutual care. He understands that happiness is not found in grand gestures but in daily habits. Eating well, moving gently, thinking positively, and loving deeply become the pillars of a fulfilling life. Love reminds him that aging is not a decline, it is a transition into wisdom. The body may slow down, but the heart grows stronger. The mind becomes clearer about what truly matters. Love helps him accept change with grace and face the future with confidence. So if a man loves you, know this: he feels grounded, inspired, and motivated to be better. Love doesn't weaken him, it strengthens him in every way. It makes him healthier, calmer, wiser, and more intentional. It teaches him that taking care of himself is part of taking care of you, and build a peaceful life together is the greatest success he could ever achieve, because real love is not loud, it's lasting. It's not rushed, it's rooted. And when love is real, it doesn't just change hearts, it changes hell. When a man is truly in love with you, something deep and steady settles into his heart, something that doesn't need constant words or dramatic displays to exist. Love for man often begins quietly, but once it takes root, it reshapes the way he sees the world and his place in it. He starts to think less about himself and more about us even before he says it out loud. His decisions begin to include you naturally, not because he is forced to, but because his heart now moves in that direction. Love gives him a sense of purpose, a reason to be consistent, and a reason to show up even on days when life feels heavy. A man in love feels a strong desire to protect, not in a controlling way, but in a caring, grounding way. Your peace becomes important to him. Your smile becomes reward. Your pain affects him more deeply than he ever expected. He listens differently now. He hears not only your words, but your silence, your pauses, your moods. He may not always express emotions the way you do, but inside him there is a quiet commitment forming, a promise to be reliable and present. Love makes him more patient, more thoughtful, and more aware of how his actions impact your life. When a man loves you, respect becomes the foundation of his feelings. He respects your time, your boundaries, your dreams, and your individuality. He doesn't see you as something to conquer or impress, but as someone to value and understand. His respect makes him calmer and more mature in how he handles disagreements. He doesn't rush to win arguments. He looks for solutions. He learns that love is not about being right all the time, but about keeping the connection strong and safe. As men grow older, love becomes even more meaningful. It is no longer about chasing excitement, but about building stability and peace. A man in love at this stage feels grateful rather than restless. He understands that life is precious and time is valuable. Love encourages him to take better care of himself, because he wants to be healthy enough to enjoy life with you. He starts paying attention to what he eats, choosing simpler, nourishing foods that give him energy instead of draining him. Eating well becomes an act of responsibility, a way of honoring the life he wants to share. Love also changes how he treats his body. He understands that he doesn't need to push himself to extremes, but he does need to keep moving. Gentle walks, light stretching, and simple daily movement become ways to stay connected to his strength. He feels proud of maintaining his health, not for appearance, but for longevity. Love teaches him that staying active keeps his mind clear, his mood balanced, and his heart strong. Emotionally, a man in love feels more grounded. He becomes less reactive and more reflective. He starts choosing peace over unnecessary conflict. Stress no longer feels like something to fight alone, because love reminds him that he has support. His mindset slowly shifts toward gratitude. He appreciates the small moments, shared laughter, quiet conversations, and the comfort of knowing someone truly sees him. This positive mindset helps him handle life's challenges with more resilience and calm. Man in love also feels motivated to grow. He doesn't feel threatened by change, he feels inspired by it. He becomes more open to learning, improving, and letting go of habits that no longer serve him. Love encourages him to be emotionally honest, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. He understands that vulnerability is not weakness, but trust. Trust deepens the bond and makes the relationship stronger over time. At his core, a man in love feels settled. There is a sense of belonging that brings him peace. He doesn't feel the need to prove himself constantly. He values consistency, loyalty, and shared values more than attention or approval from the outside world. Love gives him clarity about what truly matters and helps him focus his energy there. He feels proud of the life he is building step by step with care and intention, knowing that real love is not about perfection, but about showing up every day with sincerity and heart.